The Senate will come to order. Remaining under motions and resolutions, Senator Limmer.
Mr. President, we're resuming our place that we left prior to recess.
Yes, sir.
So we have House File 63 before us at this time.
House File 63 is on the table right now. You need to
And I
make a motion
take it off the table, Mr. President.
Senator Limmer moves to take House File 63 from the table. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Motion prevails. Members, we are on final passage of House File 63. Is there any final discussion on the bill? Seeing Senator Limmer?
Mr. President, just for clarification, if in the event that there's any confusion, House File 63 now has the entire House language on it. Just wanted to make sure everyone knew that.
Seeing no further discussion, the Secretary will take the roll. Any members not in the chamber, please come vote. Is he ready? Call on Senator Jasinski to report the votes of the members voting under Rule 40.7. Senator Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Abler votes aye.
Abler votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Coleman votes aye.
Coleman votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Eichhorn votes aye.
Eichhorn votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Goggin votes aye.
Goggin votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Lang votes aye.
Lang votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Westrom votes aye.
Westrom votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Newman votes aye.
Newman votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Osmic votes no.
Osmic votes no. Senator Bach.
Thank you, Mr. President. I report for Senator Tomassoni a yes vote.
Senator Tomassoni votes aye. Senator Friends.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Carlson votes no.
Carlson votes no. Senator Friends.
Senator Champion votes no.
Champion votes no. Senator Friends.
Senator Eaton votes no.
Eaton votes no. Senator Friends.
Senator Eakin votes aye.
Eakin votes aye. Senator Friends.
Senator Klein votes aye.
Klein votes aye. Senator Friends.
Senator Latz votes aye.
Latz votes aye. Senator Friends.
Senator Newton votes no.
Newton votes no. Senator Friends.
Senator Rest votes no.
Rest votes no. Senator Friends.
Senator Wickland votes no.
Wickland votes no. All members having voted who have the desire to vote, the Secretary will close the roll. There being 45 ayes and 21 nays, the bill passes and is titled agreed to. Remaining under motions and resolutions will revert to messages from the House. The Secretary will read the message.
Mr. President, I have the honor to announce the passage by the House of the following Senate file as amended by the House, in which the amendments to the concurrence of the Senate is respectfully requested. Senate File Number 2, a bill for an act relating to state government operations appropriating money. Senate File Number 2 is herewith returned to the Senate. Patrick D. Murphy, Chief Clerk, House of Representatives.
Senator Kiffmeyer.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I'm very glad this evening to say that I will move the Senate concur in the amendments by the House to Senate File 2 and that the bill be placed on its repassage as amended.
To that motion, Senator Kiffmeyer.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. So to let you know, there were 2 amendments that are applied by the House, but otherwise the bill is as it left the Senate. One of them was a change on page 25, line 10, after design to insert rent loss. A very technical change, but the other very positive one, Mr. President and members, is that the House has concurred with the Senate language to end emergency powers as of July 1st. So members, that is a big change, and I ask for a yes vote. And in the House, it was a unanimous vote, but Mr. Chair, Mr. President, members asked for a yes vote on Senate File 2 to concur. Thank you.
Discussion on the Kiffmeyer motion. Seeing none, Senator Kiffmeyer renews her motion to concur on Senate File, to concur with the House on Senate File 2. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Motion prevails. The Secretary will give Senate File 2 its second. The Secretary will give House File 2 its third reading.
Senate File 2, a bill for an act relating to state government operations appropriating money.
Third reading. Final discussion on the bill. Senator Kiffmeyer.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I appreciate and ask again for your yes vote on Senate File 2. Members, I would also like to add that the House added another amendment having to do with the state office building and that area. So there was that language that was also added to Senate File 2. So I wanted to be sure you had full awareness of the changes that came from the House. And members, again, I renew my request for a yes vote on Senate File 2. And again, reminding you that in this bill concurred by the House is the ending of the emergency powers of the governor as of July 1st. Thank you.
Any final discussion on Senate File 2? We are on final passage of Senate File 2. Seeing no further discussion, the Secretary will take the roll. Any members not in the chamber, please come vote. I'll call on Senator Frentz to report the votes of the members voting under Rule 40.7. Senator Frentz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Carlson votes aye.
Carlson votes aye. Senator Frentz.
Senator Champion votes no.
Champion votes no. Senator Frentz.
Senator Eaton votes aye.
Eaton votes aye. Senator Frentz.
Senator Eakin votes aye.
Eakin votes aye. Senator Frentz.
Senator Klein votes aye.
Klein votes aye. Senator Frentz.
Senator Latz votes aye.
Latz votes aye. Senator Frentz.
Senator Newton votes aye.
Newton votes aye. Senator Frentz.
Senator Rest votes aye.
Rest votes aye. Senator Frentz.
And Senator Wickland votes aye.
Wickland votes aye. Senator Bach.
Thank you, Mr. President. I report a yes vote for Senator Tomassoni.
Tomassoni votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Abler votes aye.
Abler votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Coleman votes aye.
Coleman votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Goggin votes no.
Goggin votes no. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Lang votes aye.
Lang votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Osmic votes no.
Osmic votes no. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Westrom votes aye.
Westrom votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Senator Newman votes aye.
Newman votes aye. Senator Jasinski.
Mr. President,
Senator Jasinski.
Senator Eichhorn votes no.
Eichhorn votes no. All members having voted who have the desire to vote, The Secretary will close the roll. There being 54 ayes and 12 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to. The next order of business is the 13th order of business, announcements of Senate interest. Are there any announcements of Senate interest? Senator Hur?
Thank you, Mr. President. I know it's late and everybody's tired, but I hope this story will cheer everyone up. We may be reaching another Minnesota miracle, being that recently you probably heard, many of you probably heard in the news that we had 2 new Olympians from out state, and one of them lived in my district, Sunisa Lee of Eastside St. Paul. And so we will be looking after her success. The other member is Grace McCollum in Isanti, and so just want to bring to everybody's attention and that we're looking for their success in this coming year of Tokyo Olympic of 2021. Thank you.
Without objection, the following members will be excused from today's session. Senator Dietzich all day, Senator Nelson from 2:30 to 3 p.m. and 4:45 to 6 p.m., Senator Latz from 4:50 to 5:30 p.m., and Senator Rest from 12:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. Any other announcements of Senate interest? Senator Gazelka.
Mr. President, we got all but 2 bills left, and so tomorrow we'll pick up taxes and education. There's just a few little things on taxes that we're trying to work out, but the House is also going to adjourn. They were talking about moving through the night as well, but we just want to make sure we take the extra time. So members, we're going to adjourn till 11 tomorrow. So, Mr. President, I move that the Senate do now adjourn until Wednesday, June 30th at 11 a.m.
Senator Gazelka moves that the Senate do now adjourn until Wednesday, June 30th, 2021 at 11 a.m. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed, say no. Motion prevails. The Senate is adjourned.